Hey guys, so today we're gonna go and do some wall play. I'm gonna be avoiding that door and just kind of using that. Work with what you got, but we're gonna be working on the number one mistake I see people doing over and over again to try and land handstand, headstand, all that stuff. And we're gonna go through it. First, our wrist warm up like we always do, and then kind of working our way to that. So let's get to it. Hands down. This should be starting to feel like repetition. So do what you gotta do to be comfortable first. You guys are gonna be used to seeing me taking off my watch. Wrists pointing in opposite directions. We're just gonna go back and forth. Big breaths. This is when we kind of forget everything else we've been doing today and connect to the ground here, our breath, and just enjoy having fun. Let's leave everything else behind. If you're starting to feel comfortable and you want to bring your wrist closer, go ahead for that. And then we're just going to do a few circles from right to left. Kind of just allowing this to feel flowy, and we'll go in the opposite direction. Awesome. So from here, last part, so we just did extension, we're going to do flexion with our wrists. So pointing them towards us, we're just going to go back and forth from here. So once again, why do we do these every day? It's because if your wrists are so tight that they're pushing you back out of the pose, you're fighting your body. So we're going to keep doing things for mobility that help you not have a body that fights you out of handstand, essentially. Okay, now let's just put some weight in those wrists, kind of get them comfortable for some movement. Okay, the next part, we're gonna do some scapular. So your scaps behind you, the wings, protraction and retraction. So we're gonna have our hands down. We're gonna do 5 on our hands in tabletop. And then we're gonna go and straighten out our legs and do the same thing in plank. And then I'm gonna show you the last variation. So big breath in, so let's start here. Hit chest down, exhale up. Two more. Let's go straight legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just to make a bit more action through our scaps, we're going to bring our arms wide, try to keep our shoulders above them, and then go down with the chest and up in a circle type motion. So that's 1, 2, trying to keep that hollow body shape throughout. 3, 4, 5. Stopping at the top, going the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. Okay, so that's a little warm up. We got our wrists going. We're now going to do a drill that's just to help us build our strength for protracting, which is what we do. There's 3 main things that I see people struggle with while handstanding. One is not having strength in protraction. So thinking of raising the roof, I keep using that analogy. That push strength and the knowledge that you can't just kind of handstand being in a lazy shape. You got to really push through your arms. The second is actually having the right shape. So hollow body and not kind of lazing out. So you'll see this mistake a lot where people will go to jump and then they'll kind of donkey kick and curve out of their back. Or if they're trying to headstand, they're actually just bringing their hips back, but not bringing the entire structure back so their feet don't raise. And then the last one is essentially the mobility is always fighting them out of the pose. So let's work on this arm strength here. This is gonna be our warm up, and then we're gonna do the rest just all handstand play on the wall. So hands even with your knees. We're gonna do 3 rounds of these 3 sets of different exercises. So big breath in, we're pushing into the ground, we're doing Vinyasa preps. So hands even with the tip of our knees. Lift your knees as high up as you can. and back down. It's 1, 2, 3. Nice and slow, keeping your feet not tucked, but extended. We're staying here for 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go for a full push-up. 1, 2, 3. And then from here, we're just gonna hold for 1, 2, 3. That's 1 round. We're gonna do 3 of those. So 2 more. Big breath. You can do these with me if you wish. If not, just enjoy kind of relaxing between sets. Okay, set 2. Fingers even with your knees. We're gonna lift off. So 1, 2, 3. Making our way into plank. Now a scapular push-up. So bringing that chest down. 1, 2, 3. Now, just a true push-up. 1, 2, 3. Bringing our little asana hold for 3, 2, 1. We're doing one last round of that. Oh, so now we're going to interlace our fingers behind our back. Open up our chest. If you have a wall near you, bring your arm in a 90 shape. We're going to keep our ear close to it as much as we can and see if we can just open up our chest. Keep your elbow as close to being even with your shoulder as possible, if not a bit higher. We'll do the opposite side. Last round. So this is not easy stuff, but it will pay off. You'll see a lot more control with your arms and your planks and everything else by doing these exercises. So last round, we're gonna hold this together, arms straight. Big breath in, push up for 1, 2, 3. Stepping it back to a plank. We're gonna do scapular push-ups, so just bringing your chest down and up for 1, 2, 3. Now true push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Bringing your legs back to the front. We're gonna hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big release. Let's go to some handstand and play now. Boom. Okay. So we're gonna do 2 different drills. The first one is just to get more strengthened. I know we just did that, that's a lot. What are you doing, Ray? But the second one will be what will help you really find that next level balance and everything else. So I'm gonna use a door for the first drill. We're gonna do about, we'll use this as a reference point. If you're doing a warrior 3 and your legs are about 90 each, your hands are about even with where that foot is. It may be a little bit farther back. So keep an eye on where that is. It'll be good for both drills. So the first drill is we're gonna kick up, or not kick up, we're gonna bring our leg up and then go into a tuck and then straight to a pike. A pike meaning almost a 90 degree if possible. My hamstrings are quite tight from running, so I'm gonna avoid that 90 shape. I'm actually gonna go as much in it as I can. It doesn't really matter. Essentially, we're putting a lot of weight on our arms and then we're releasing it by going into a child's type pose. So big breath. That's 1, 2. We're gonna bring this leg where we think it's even with our hips. Bring the other one, just go back, lengthen. We're holding that for 1. Come back. We're doing 2. Go back. 3. Go back. 4. Go back. And then 5. Step down. We're going to do 2 rounds of that. Handstanding ain't easy. We're not here for the joke. This is a big skill we're looking to be able to hold. We're building strength. This is gonna change many parts of your practice. You're gonna have stronger arms, stronger core, and hopefully more mobility. Big breaths. One more breath, I should say. So with my hands a little bit closer this time. If you need a bit longer of a breath, maybe massaging your own forearms for the capability of being able to practice a bit more, go for that. But if you're feeling okay, keep coming with me. Big breath in, release. Okay, one foot at the height of your hips. Bring the other one there, arms straight, legs straight. Release for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, right? So my hamstrings need some love. They were shaking every time, and that's okay. I can handstand. This is not a prerequisite. It's just an extra drill. It's actually a lot more weight on your hands than actual handstanding. This is much harder. But if you can do it, awesome. You're making huge strength gains that you will make it easier, essentially. The next drill. So this one is huge. Huge. It's to help me change my teaching style, because I learned how to do it without realizing it. But once I was able to tell and explain this, it made a huge difference for people trying to learn. So we're gonna go and do a warrior 3. Foot down, the other leg there. From here, if your arms are up while doing a warrior 3, that is a handstand. I don't want you to ever bring that leg past at the beginning. We're not looking for front splits and handstands right now. We're looking to learn to find that balance. So to do that, you're learning to stack. We're not looking to get into a back bend or banana back. We want to stay hollow body as much as possible. So the struggle with that is if you learn to bring your legs away, you're doing that donkey kick action. You're not actually bringing your body, your hips away from the wall to float. You're kind of just like twitching out, essentially. So by doing a warrior 3 and then kind of sticking this as your frontal, as a point that's going away from the wall, thinking of that will help you float away. Same thing with handstands, headstands. You want to think of this aspect being what guides where your hips, your stacking is, not your legs. Your legs are just, they can go everywhere. They don't matter. Your pelvic bowl as a unit, even with your spine, needs to move away. So to practice that, we're going to go into warrior 3. We're going to really stabilize the leg that's on the wall. So for now, that's the right one. We're going to bring our hands down, and from here, so I'm going to bring it a bit closer. So you're just making sure that that foot's nice and grounded. We're going to do 3 rounds of 3 seconds, both sides. So we're going to push into the wall. We're lifting. You're pulling through your pelvis to lift. 1, 2, 3. So I'll show you how that converts after. I know I explained a lot there. It's kind of confusing. It will be a lot easier once you kind of grasp it. So round 2, leg flat in the wall, pushing, lift that foot. 3, 2, 1. Still trying to keep all the basics I've taught you. So fingers forward, protracting, pushing through. So we're going for our last one. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm gonna keep that foot here just as a marker. We're gonna do the opposite side. Big breath in. One more. Awesome. So let's do the opposite side. So once that leg is nice and even, you're trying to keep your hips even. So from here, we're pushing into that back wall with our hands, lifting through our mid body. And lift for 3, 2, 1. Release, big breath. Okay, let's go again. So 3, 2, 1. Big breath. this brings the heat to me. This is making a sweat here. Arms down, going forward for the last one. Legs straight behind us. Protracting lift for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay. So through a headstand, which hopefully we both hold together, I will show you the concept I'm talking about. So instead of donkey kicking, kind of bringing my legs around and my upper hips, I'm keeping this all in hollow body, and this, while this is all staying together, is moving forward. So a lot of people struggle to get to this part. So I'm keeping everything together and I'm moving everything farther. I'm not like bending in my back. I'm keeping everything and it is moving forward. It's a thing of millimeters. It doesn't take much, but showing you that action, I'm going to show you the difference while we're using it for a handstand as well. So try that headstand, without back bending. We're essentially just trying to bring the whole unit, our whole spine, pelvic ball and all, this way. We're angling our whole body. We're pushing, protracting it up, essentially. How that's going to look in handstand, I'm going to bring my one leg up and then the other one is going to do the same action I just did. So if you think of this, let me keep this leg close to you. So I'm going to be pointing my toes and lifting. So this is my leg that was against the wall. It'll be up. This leg will be the one that's pulling. Big breath. Okay, so this is the leg that was there. I'm pointing, pulling. So as a unit, I'm bringing everything farther. I hope that makes sense. It's something that is a strange concept, especially when you're inverted. And if you see bends in my body, it's because my arms are tight, so it's causing this. And then I'm trying to bring my back, so it's kind of causing changes in shape. So that's just a bit more mobility I need as well. But the concept of handstanding, I don't use my pelvic bowl to try and go away, which doesn't ever bring my feet off. I'm using my spine and my arms that are straight and pushing everything as a unit. So try that. We'll do it 3 times, just one side. So we're going from the drill we just did and doing the inverted version of it. So hands to the length that you need. So if you're thinking warrior 3, this is where my hands are going. From there, we're making an inverted warrior 3, essentially, was what I'm saying, with your arms in front of you over your head. Big breath in. This is the grounded leg that's on the ground usually. This is the one I'm trying to pull straight. As a straight thing, I'm trying to push it off. Right? So, boom. So if you can point flex 5 times each side, that's our last drill. We're not doing big holds today, we're just having fun with that. Especially if this is still a lot on our wrists and forearms. So I just did points, we'll say 3 to 5. We'll do the opposite side. So my right leg was all the way up. I'm gonna go with my left all the way up. Big breath. So pointing, flex. Awesome. So I know that this is a lot. The concept that's there is the same thing as having a block and pushing everything as one away. We're just doing it in a more active way that hopefully connects. It's all about finding and hearing all these things until it makes sense in a way that you know. So think of your shape as a warrior 3 that's upside down, and you're slowly bringing your hips, your back, and everything away from the wall. I know that's easier said than done. I hope it happens for you, and if not, it will come. Cheers. Thank you so much for practicing with me. This is a sweaty one today, but a good one. Take care.